Yo, what's up? What's up? Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hey, hey, hey. Okay. Maybe the people online don't need the welcome back, but welcome back. Hold on. Let me move myself. Oh, I guess I moved myself all the way. We missed you, so you guys see it right there. All right. If you can't see me, it is what it is. I'm just gonna keep talking so we can get through this. Make sure that you write down all of these things in your agenda. So get your agenda out. Make sure you actually check that. Please pause it. Get your agenda done, and then we are going to move forward. Okay. No, we're moving off that. All right, so this is my collage kind of from my break. This isn't everything, but this is some of the things. Obviously, you can see I watched basketball quite a bit. Yeah, that's how my break was. And then up here, I was at this fancy dinner, and the shrimp had LEDs on them. I'm like, boy, what year are we living in? I fixed my dresser because my drawers were all jacked up, so I did that. I went back to Stanislaus. This is a building at Stanislaus, Naragi Hall of Science. I used to go there and take all kinds of classes, so I went back on the campus a little bit. It was actually pretty cool. I went on a short hike at this place called Knight's Ferry. It has a covered bridge, but unfortunately the bridge was closed for repairs. I helped to stuff eggs for Easter egg hunts. You know how that goes. And then these are my kids and extra people, all kinds of stuff. And we actually did an Easter egg hunt for Easter dinner this year, which we haven't done that in a long time. They're all old, but they had a really good time. Okay, and then I did get to go to House of Random as well. If you haven't been there, I'm like, they made that waffle and they put ice cream in it. Come on! It was too good. Okay, that's how my spring break was. Let me see. This next thing is about you. So since I made a collage, I want you to draw a full-page collage pic, right, that represents your spring break. Draw it as much as you can. What did you do on your spring break? And go. So again, pause the screen, handle your business, do this inside of your journal, draw yourself a full page collage. What are all the things that you did? We're going to check that out. So, then, once you get that done, and again, it's just pictures, it's just pictures. I mean, you can put some words in there if you want, but just pictures. What can, you put in a bucket to make it weigh less? That's what we need to know. What can you put in a bucket to make it weigh less? What can you do? Hopefully you said maybe holes. Yeah, like a hole. So if you put a hole in it, right, then it will either leak out everything that's in there, or number two, you're actually getting rid of some of the metal. So if you put holes or a hole in a bucket, boom, it will actually weigh less. Yeah. All right, let's move it along. I did want to show you guys where we're at the calendar wise. So make sure that you're on top of everything, because the reality is somewhere in here is where we're going to have to turn in the grades. Somewhere in this area here. So just realize that this is the 9 week, and then this week right here, you guys are going to end up watching Hidden Figures. So just realize that, because I'm going to be gone on this Washington, D.C. trip. However, right here, this is somewhere in here where we have to turn in grades. So if you look at where we're at, we're right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We really only got about 5 weeks, because the next week is already when we're having the promotion. So we're already having the promotion, and the end of school is already in the next week. So realize, like, we don't have a lot of time. So you gotta be on top of things. If you miss school, you gotta make sure that you're online, getting the lesson, turning in the work, get everything done. We don't really have a lot of time to be left in here. So I'm just letting you guys know, because I know some of you guys you're trying to finish strong so that you can be ready for high school. So just make sure that you're on top of everything. All right, let's keep it pushing after that. I just wanted to review this real quick. What is matter? Because remember, we have a test coming up this Friday. Test this Friday. So what is matter? Matter is anything that takes up space and has a mass or weight, right? And then we talked about the periodic table table cells, right? And what each thing means. And then and again, these are all the things I'm going to ask on this test. So carbon, right? Like, what is the element name? what is the atomic number, what is the symbol, and the atomic mass. Remember what all of those things are. So make sure that you guys are studying, right? So it's time to get your brain start going again. And then down here, remember that the atom, so a basic atom is made up of 3 parts. There are protons, neutrons, and electrons, and the protons and neutrons are inside of the nucleus, and then the electrons are on the outside. Remember also down here, let's take a look over here. Boom, elements, right? So elements versus a molecule. Remember, an element is 1 atom, and it's made up of protons, neutrons, and electrons. A molecule, remember, is 2 or more atoms that are bonded together. So remember that, 2 or more atoms that are bonded together. That is a molecule, okay? Cool. Now, we've talked about this, and I don't know how many of you guys studied over the break. I'm presuming most of y'all did not, which is totally fine. So I'm going to give you 5 minutes. Get out your flashcards. Yeah, get out your flashcards, and I want you to, for yourself, say the answers out loud. Don't talk to other people. You just say it for yourself for 5 minutes. I want you to say the answers out loud, and then what you're going to do is this. Here, let me get my... All right, so we're going to say the answers out loud when studying. So that's so that we're going to be like, I believe this is arsenic. I didn't see it. Is that correct? Yeah, AS, arsenic. All right, cool. I believe this next one is rubidium, right? RB, rubidium. Is that it? Yep, that's it. Cool, I know that one. And then this next one, I think it's tin, but I don't really remember this one. It's lead. I got this one wrong. So I'm going to put this in the piles of cards that I am like, oh, I don't know that one. This next one, HG, is mercury. Boom. So I'm saying the answers out loud, right? And then so I'm just going like that. And then this is radium, right? Cool. So yep, that one is radium. So as I'm dividing them into 2 piles. These are the ones that I'm like, yes, I know these ones. Hold on, let me make my screen bigger. I'm like, yes, I know these ones, and these ones are ones that I'm like, I gotta study some more. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through all of these cards, and once I divide it on my piles, then I'm gonna set the ones that I'm like, I confidently, easily know. I'm gonna set those to the side, and then I'm gonna pick up the pile of the ones I don't know, and I'm gonna spend time just studying them. And what I usually used to do would be like PB, lead, PB, lead, lead, PB, lead, PB, right? So that's how I would study them. And then after I went through the cards a couple of times that way, then what I would do is test myself on these ones and see how many of them do I know now, right? And that's how I would. And I would spend more time with the ones that I did not know. Once you have done that, then you need to go back and go the other way and say, all right, now, this is strontium. I think it is ST. Nope, it is SR. Got it wrong, so I'm putting it in the wrong pile. Silver, I definitely do not know this one at all. I don't know, and I know it's a weird one, and it's AG. I thought it was AG, but that wasn't right. So then nickel is NI, right? So nickel is NI. All right, cool. I know that one. Vanadium is just a V. I know that one. Cool. Caesium, is that CA? I really don't know this one. I don't know this one. CS. So I got to put it in the ones I don't know. Zinc, that is a Z. Oh, I said Z. Now, see, I kind of knew it, but not really. So I put it into the ones I need to study some more, right? Germanium, that's GE. I remember that one. Gold is it HG? Nope, AU. So again, into the card. So as you can see, Mr. Farr needs to study. Selenium, is that SE? Yeah, so we're good. All right, copper, I don't remember copper. I'm just guessing it's CO. I don't know. It's CU. Okay, so again, I'm dividing these into 2 piles again, right? And the ones that I'm like, oh, I don't know, these are the ones I'm going to spend more time with. And again, now I'm studying them from the other direction. So make sure you study them this way to know what is the name, but then also make sure to study them this way to say, oh, copper, CU. And you're studying it this way. All right, gold, is that AG or AU? Oh, okay, so I still need to study that one. Zinc, that's ZN. Okay, I know that one now. Okay, right, so make sure that you're studying them from both sides, okay? Handle that business, okay? Cool. So I want you to do that. And obviously, since you're at home, study that by yourself for a while. Then what I want you to do, okay, we're going to do this in class the same way, is I want you to go and spend time and have someone else hold the cards, and then they quiz you. So mom, dad, brother, sister, uncle, tia, tío, like whoever. Find someone to quiz you on these cards and see like where you guys are at. All right, so just handle that business. All right, so I just wanted to, and I'm not going to spend any time on this slide besides to say, I updated the cards and the grades. I still have not updated, I did not grade the CER. So make sure you have that turned in, but I'm going to start grading that today. I'm sorry, over the break, I was on break. So I updated the flashcards in there. So if you haven't turned those in, please get those turned in. Again, if you haven't turned in the flashcards yet, please get those turned in, because they are obviously affecting your grade, but you also need them to study throughout this week for the test that we have upcoming on Friday, okay? So make sure of that. And then the last thing is this. Let's go ahead and do this entry activity. Let's go ahead and handle the business. Can you calculate everything? Can you remember like how to calculate everything? So again, pause the screen, handle the business, pause the screen, handle the business. Can you calculate the number of electrons, the number of neutrons, and where is this element located on the periodic table? All right, were you able to calculate everything? So let's just take a look at this. How many electrons are in this element, right? And hopefully you remember that this atomic number for a neutral atom of aluminum is the number of protons, right? So for protons, and that's not what they're asking, but the number of protons here, right, is equal to 13, which if it's neutral, then that means the number of electrons is also going to be 13. So hopefully you were cool with that. Then how many neutrons are there here? Well, really, it's just you're going to take this number and then you're going to subtract it right here. Boom. So minus 13, which is equal to 13.98, which basically rounds to what? 14. So there's 14 neutrons. Where is this element located on the periodic table? So if we just go ahead and I think I can pull this up. I think I got it right here. I got a periodic table. Yep, boom, right here. I got a periodic table right there. And let's just see, can we find it? We said it was number 13, so it should be relatively the same. It looks like it's towards the right? And if you look, there's some kind of stair steps looking kind of things going on here, right? So you're like, it's just below boron, right? Or you could say it's in the, what is this, like third row? It's in the third row, right, over here. So, and this would be like 13th family. We haven't talked about those things, but again, that's kind of where it would be located, on the right-hand side, right? So on the right-hand side of the periodic table, that is where you can find it. I just wanted to know that you could find it on the actual, like, periodic table. We haven't talked too much about the locations. Don't worry about that. But that is where you can find it. All right, y'all, that is it for today. Peace.